Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that some crazy, absurd, ridiculous news has just struck the gacha space. We're coming right off of the tails of a very, very, very festive experience over in Global. As you're all aware, Wuthering Waves won the Player's Choice Award just a couple of days ago. And it also turns out just 24 hours ago. And also, currently, Wuthering Waves is #1 on Bilibili. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was taken about 24 hours ago. And when we look at the present... Oh, sorry, just, I was... Don't mind that. That's... At the present, it appears that Wuthering Waves is still on top. And Genshin Impact is a little bit lower on the bottom over in the second spot over there. And then we're going to be seeing Zenless Zone Zero actually in #6. So yeah, when it comes to China and when it comes to CN and Bilibili and what players are talking about and looking to play on this platform or across these platforms, well, guys, it appears that Wuthering Waves has actually done it. And the reasons for why Wuthering Waves has done all of these things is pretty goddamn simple. This whole news about player's choice, this whole news about all of these things, all this news about 3.0, guys, it's actually making news in CN. People over in CN were either dropping videos on Bilibili, making all this edited stuff, or essentially, right, just talking about the surprise that they had as Wuthering Waves players that it even won the award in the first place. And so, as you can see, you have a combination of 3.0 marketing, 3.0 news, 3.0 teasers in the live stream and all of that, as well as the incredible PR of winning the Game Awards. Because you want to know what else came alongside the winning of the Game Awards? Well, guess what? Y'all remember? We got a shit ton of Astrite. We actually got 2,600 Astrite for the nomination as well as the victory. And so this was just like another route for CN to be hyper aware of the situation and to be hyper aware of the success. Because isn't it also fair to say that CN is probably celebrating as well because they're getting all the free pulls too? It's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm. The hype has never, honestly, been higher. And what's super clear at this point in time is that the achievements of this company that you're seeing directly below Wuthering Waves, they're slowly starting to get washed away. Because what you got to recognize is that Wuthering Waves is doing this, excelling in these metrics, despite the massive amount of goddamn headwind everybody in the Hoyoverse community is trying to provide. Because all you need to do is just look through some of the documented instances of how Hoyoverse players have been attempting to sabotage the game. Some of you might be wondering why the Bilibili rating of this game is actually so low. It's not because the game is bad, it's because the game gets brigaded on regular basis. You even had somebody go ahead, and these are threads over on their forums, hundreds of replies, multiple pages, detailing how MiHoYo players behind the scenes are constantly trying to sabotage the game, talking about things like the Mornier AI situation, talking about how they go and they attack the forums of other games like Street Fighter 6, Armored Core 6, and Wobbly, whatever the fuck that is. And that's the stuff that's happening in CN. And when people see that when the game is in a period of growth, right here it's saying that, it's fair to say that Ming Chao is currently in a period of growth, it would be a great pity to let this growth be destroyed by community opinion. That's what happens in CN. The game gets brigaded daily. And when it comes to CN, oftentimes, that's the region where the whole, you know, Scaramouche, cat slayings, all of that, killing a cat because it looked too much like a Genshin character they didn't like. CN is the region where that sort of stuff originates from. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And so when it comes to, like, you might as well call this the equivalent of like digital e-terrorism at this point, they tend to go further than places in Global. However, Global is also pushing the envelope over here for the dumb sort of shit that they can do. Because instead of, I guess, like Tieba forum posts and stuff like that, we get Twitter shit posts where people just make shit up, lie about the game, and then get community noted and then embarrassed in front of the entire community. It's on Global, the doom posting, the shit posting, the fake news, and it's also on CN as well. But the game is going ahead. The game is winning all of these awards. Sorry, I just got to get a screenshot of it. In spite of all of that, it's winning. And then it's also winning against not just Genshin Impact, which is going to give the game clout in CN. It's also going to win against some of the most popular, well-made, and high-quality games there are in the space. Dispatch is like an interactive movie, so I don't think it really counts, and the community is full of losers anyways. But Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, and Hollow Knight Silksong, I'm pretty sure that those games are also ones that have been recognized in CN2. And so to hear that one of your national products, because that's what Wuthering Waves is, when one of your national products wins this title in an international competition, guys, this is another way. I know this might sound cheesy, but playing WuWa, downloading it, installing it, spending money on it is another way for Chinese people to show their national pride. I'm not even joking. That's what it literally is. It's another way to show off their fucking national pride. Isn't that crazy? Because you want to know another game that did the exact same thing? A game that was released in CN, won an American Games competition, and then blew the fuck up afterwards? I'll show you guys. Yeah, y'all remember Black Myth Wukong? Y'all remember Black Myth Wukong and how it won Player's Voice back in 2024? Also didn't win the Game Awards like how Wuthering Waves didn't win Mobile Game of the Year? I think the fact that WuWa didn't win Mobile Game of the Year, but it won Player's Voice, it's essentially like a repeat of Black Myth Wukong. Think about it. It wins Player's Voice, the community voted award, but then loses the main award that it's running for. And so once you see how all of these facts, how the entire situation has been laid out, is it really that much surprising at all that Wuthering Waves is seeing so much actual success right now in CN? You've got the influence of Global. You've got the incredible news regarding 3.0. You've got recognition in actual, like, Chinese TV news because of all of these accomplishments. And then you have something called, I don't know if Streisand effect is the right word, but basically it's the idea that by trying to give so much negative attention to the game, you've actually turned it into positive attention. Because you keep trying to say that, like, the game is bad, the game is dog shit, the game is awful and terrible, the community shit, whatever. And then people actually play it and then see it's the exact opposite. Your doom posting actually created the interest for people to actually try out the game. They see that everything you said was a lie, and then they just enjoy the game and keep playing it. I don't know what the exact term is for it, but I'm pretty sure that played a role as well. And I'm gonna be honest. The stage is set for Kuro to actually just take over in 2026. Because people are slowly but surely beginning to see what an actual good game looks like. And you want to know the part about this whole ranking, this whole breakdown over here that really just gives me a warm feeling in my stomach? It's the fact that you see a dog shit title like Honkai Star Rail so low. Even though the patch actually dropped in like the past 48 hours. It might be the past 24 hours that the patch dropped. And it is below. I don't even know what the fuck this is. What is this? They have Elden. What the fuck? The point is that people, in my opinion at least, are starting to recognize that Hoyoverse is this company that just cuts corners and delivers you products that get worse over time. And I think the fact that a game like Genshin Impact got swept, got completely destroyed in the Game Awards, didn't get nominated for anything aside from Player's Voice, and then doesn't win Player's Voice. The fact that that has occurred, they see no other Hoyoverse games anywhere close to being recognized at all internationally. I think that at a certain point, they've got to recognize that Hoyo is actually creating slop. And when Hoyoverse used to be known as the company that was innovating, that was pioneering, being associated with Genshin Impact in the past, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, it wasn't embarrassing. Now, it is embarrassing because you're essentially proudly displaying your commitment to a game that across 5 years of development has made no significant progress at all. And the game in many respects has gotten worse. And you can say that exact same line of development, the game getting worse over time, has happened to all of their other titles in this year. And I'm going to be honest. I hope that this sets a new standard for gachas. I hope that this sets a new standard for monetization, all of that, because all I genuinely want to see moving forward in 2026 is a gacha space that doesn't actually get worse. Because I think you can all agree with me when I say this simple fact. Monetization, predatory mechanics, global passives, pay-to-win exploration, all of these things, all of these features that make the games worse for players, worse for spenders, worse for everybody, but better for the company. 2025 has taken those policies and blown them up beyond anything we've ever seen before. In Genshin Impact, you now have enemies in the endgame that literally cannot be defeated at all unless you have non-cry units, or I guess new specially tailored units that can just deplete the enemy buffs. Awful experience. Zenless Zone 0, stealth nerfing Anomaly after shilling Anomaly for an entire year and basically retroactively breaking players' accounts based off their investments by balancing the game externally. Actual wasted dollars on units that you don't use anymore. Insane. I've never seen a company rug pull an entire way of DPS before. Oh wait, I have seen a company rug pull an entire archetype of damage before. Yeah, because that actually happened in this Hoyoverse title over here, Honkai Star Rail, where they proceeded to introduce Super Break, then make it useless in 3.0, and then they're also, like, making it useful again at the end of 3.0 with this unit, where she just does Super Break without breaking them. What's wrong? At this point, you've got to realize the infrastructure of these games, the balance of these games is literally built on top of an actual house of cards. I think that Hoyoverse actually probably consults the local fucking kindergarten on details on how to add new mechanics to their games. Because what the fuck did they even do in HSR 3.8 with this Dahlia Super Break, whatever the fuck it is? How can you look at that and then not think these developers have no fucking clue what they're doing with this game? They have no idea. And the fact that a game can drop and it's over here, I'm just gonna be honest, guys. I think that the community as a whole, even in CN, is beginning to recognize the absolute lack of clarity and the complete cluelessness of every single development team working on any of these games. Because I don't think anyone can say any of these games are in a good state right now. The worst balance, the worst story, and the worst power creep they've all ever had, all at the same time, and all at the end of 2025. Now, isn't that a set of holidays to be very, very, very happy about? I'm sure everybody is enjoying the holiday season right now at Hoyoverse. That's a lie. I know nobody likes this shit. I've never seen the communities of these games more dead. I've never seen viewership at such dog shit levels. Because you want to know what the viewership is looking like for all these games? I'll show you. We got Zenless Zone 0 over here. Wow. Can't wait for this bad boy. We got 2,000 right now, but we've literally just been going down. Literally. It hasn't gone anywhere except down since 2.0 released. It's just losing 10% every month. And you want to know what just happened today? This is Bon Yue's release. This is a new banner. Woo! Peak at 5K. New character. What? The new character peaked at 5K? Hey, what about Honkai Star Rail? Surely that one's gonna be looking good, right, boys? Okay, just stop laughing. It's a new patch! So, ZZZ was at 5K for a new character. This is HSR on the new patch. Woo! Brother. It, like, regularly hits, like, double-digit viewers. And there's gonna be 8 weeks of this. There's gonna be 8 weeks of this patch that nobody even wants to play. And you want to know the best part about this 8-week extension on this patch nobody wants to play? They're only giving you 1,000 asteroid. And then HSR also has a third set of banners for those 2 weeks they're going to be extended. They couldn't just extend both banners 1 week to keep it 4-4. They were like, nah, we got to make more money. Let's add a phase 3 and keep all the banner lengths the same. Yeah, let's do this, guys. We're really smart developers. Let's do this. I guarantee the players will love it. So let me describe to you exactly what I'm talking about here. And give me a second. I gotta pull up the exact dynamics that I'm thinking about over here. Because this to me just really encapsulates what the fuck is wrong with this company. They're completely tone deaf. And I'm of the opinion that this level of just tone deafness has to be recognized by the community at some point. Because my take is, how do you, on your hands and knees, beg the player base for forgiveness for this issue, but then in your live stream, directly preceding this dog shit announcement, right? Directly preceding it, you just advertise
And Sunday!
that there's going to be phase 3 banners. So how do you apologize, right? For the delay, and then say, we're so sorry, we're so disappointed, this is awful and terrible, but then use that delay as an opportunity to make more money and nickel and dime the players. Why can't this be? Why can't Aglaia and Sunday just be added onto these banners, and then it becomes like, I don't know, 2 phases, they're both 4 weeks, it's just the same number of characters, everyone's just available for longer. So why can't they do that, but they can say sorry for this? This level of fakeness, this level of just like insincerity, and this level of just the player looks at this and then knows this company's just lying. Such blatant dishonesty in this high of an amount is my opinion for as to why the game's actually in places like this. The player base is cognizant of how they're getting treated. They're tired of it. And I think that recognition is being had across every single one of these Hoyoverse games. Because you want to know something that the ZZZ community has actually had over the past couple of days? I just mentioned, right, how dog shit ZZZ has been since 2.0, right? How viewers on every single platform have essentially just been getting drained every month because of how bad the patches have been. You actually had an instance where the ZZZ developers had to post a CN exclusive dev talk apologizing for how bad the 2.x story has been. A whole dev talk apologizing and saying that it should have been better. How they're going back to 6th Street to make things right. How does a company that had a 3-4-5 year head start, billions of dollars in additional budget, so many extra resources, the government's actual support from the CC. How do you mess up this bad? If Hoyo releases a game and it's not a success, it's a embarrassing failure for them. Because how do you have all the resources, all the tools, all the talent, and you still can't get the job done? That is the definition of a failure. If you don't have all the stuff, if you lack something and you don't succeed, that's different. But when you have everything you could possibly need to be successful and you can't succeed, if I know one thing about Asian culture, East Asian culture, shame is a very big thing. And I'm gonna be honest, ZZZ and 2.x has to be one of the most embarrassing things just I've seen from a game before. I am shocked by how many times these developers have said sorry. It's probably been like 6 or 7 times this year. Why do you need to say sorry this much for like 5 patches in a row? They've been saying sorry since 2.0. And then Genshin. Do I even need to talk about Genshin? All I need to do is say 2 words. Miliastra Wonderland. Are they stupid? Are they dumb? I haven't heard about the UGC since the 6.1 livestream. Even Hoyo is trying to pretend the UGC doesn't exist anymore. And so after hearing all of that, there's a reason why the gacha space is currently in the worst state it's ever been at the end of 2025. We always say it gets bad, but Hoyo proves it can always get worse. And I think another part of this is the fact that there's probably a good number of players that view WuWa as kind of like the last bastion for like a good gacha. And that could be part of the reason why people are trying to take shelter there. Because the state of all these other games is just not in a good spot. And I've given all the reasons for why. So yeah, let me know what you all thought about this one, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.